I was told that if you wear someone's shoes, you absorb their karma. Is that true?
I've heard something like that. I don't know. You ready?
Also,
Yeah,
if you
we're
get
ready.
your shoes stolen from a temple, that leaves a lifetime of karma for you.
Jai Saka Padikashi Shri Guru Gaur Chanduju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhanju Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Asta Terasata Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Asta Terasata Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Caitanya Charitamrta Mission morning class. Dandavat Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Chita Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Jai, continuing to read Sri Caitanya Charitamrta. This is, of course, the Madhya Lila, 25th chapter, 5th volume of the Madhya Lila. And this is verse 211. And now we are following the all the devotees. The devotees have left Mahaprabhu at Varanasi, and Sanatana Goswami going to Vrindavan, and then some history here. Mathurate Subuddhirai Jai Shri Guru Gaurachandra Jai Shri Giriraj Ki Jai. Oh, beautiful. Mathurate Subuddhirai Tahare Milila Rupa Anupama Kata Shakali Kahila. When Sanatana Goswami met Subuddhi Rai at Mathura, Subuddhi Rai explained everything about his younger brothers, Rupa Goswami and Anupama. Gangapate Duiba Okay. Subuddhi Rai. When Rupa Goswami arrived at Mathura, Subuddhi Rai, out of love and affection for him, wanted to serve him in so many ways. He personally took Rupa Goswami to see all the 12 forests of Vrindavan. Do you guys remember who Subuddhi Rai is? You remember he had this servant who later became the Nawab, and the servant had been given a beating by Subuddhi Rai because he was doing something wrong. And then his wife wanted him to kill Subuddhi Rai. Anyway, he's gone to Vrindavan, and he used to, remember, gather wood. Mahaprabhu said, don't worry that he sprinkled water on you. You just chant the Hare Krishna mantra, you're not a Muslim. And he said, and then Subuddhi Rai was collecting dry wood, right?
Did he do that as like a joke? Sprinkle water on him?
No,
Like,
it was a very aggressive thing to do. Because in those days, it was thought by the Hindu society, it was not a scriptural thing or anything, that if anyone was sprinkled with water from the pot of a Muslim, he became a Muslim. So he just did that to punish him, to please his wife, because his wife was saying he should kill that. Anyway, Subuddhi Rai went to Vrindavan, and there when he reached Mathura, he met Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, don't worry about that. You just chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that's nothing. And then, of course, Subuddhi Rai is great Parsha devotee of Mahaprabhu. And he used to gather dry firewood and sell it for about 5 paisa. 4 paisa he put aside, and 1 paisa he would use for eating. And then he would serve all the devotees who came to Mathura. So when Rupa Goswami went to Mathura, Subhuti Rai, out of love and affection for him, served him in many ways. And he took him to the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And then after that, Rupa Goswami went to look for a Sanatana Goswami. And then when Sanatana Goswami reached Prayag, following the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, coming from Varanasi, he went to Vrindavan along the public road. And when Sanatana Goswami met Subhuti Rai at Mathura, Subhuti Rai explained everything about his younger brothers Rupa Goswami and Anupama, who he had met and was serving. Okay? Everything clear? Gangapate Duiba Rajapate Sanatana Ataeva Tahasani Nahaila Milana. Since Sanatana Goswami went along the public road to Vrindavan, and Rupa Goswami and Anupama went along on the road along the Ganges banks, it was not possible for them to meet, because he was thinking that was the way that Sanatana Goswami would be traveling. But on Mahaprabhu's order, Sanatana Goswami traveled along the public road. Subhuti Rai Bahu Sneha Kare Sanatane Vyavahara Sneha Sanatana Nahimane. Subhuti Rai and Sanatana Goswami had known each other before accepting the renounced order. Therefore, Subhuti Rai showed much affection to Sanatana Goswami, but Sanatana Goswami hesitated to accept his sentiments and affections. Mahavirakta Sanatan Brahmera Vane Vane Prativrikshe Pratikunje Rahe Ratri Dine. Being very advanced in the renounced order, Sanatana Goswami used to wander from forest to forest, never taking shelter of any habitation built of stone. In other words, he didn't live in any house. He used to live under trees or beneath bushes both day and night. And Subhuti Rai wanted to serve him very nicely, but Sanatana Goswami hesitated to receive that kind of service. Mathura Mahatmya Shastra Singraha Kariya Lupta Tirtha Prakata Kaila Vanite Brahmiya. Srila Sanatana Goswami collected some books about archaeological excavations in Mathura. And wandering in the forest, he sought to renovate all these holy places. And that was one of the things. Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakat means they revealed all these places. So Srila Sanatana Goswami collected some books about archaeological excavations in Mathura, because that was 4,500 years ago when Krishna was revealing his pastimes in Vrindavan. So there were excavations archaeologically, and he wanted to see those. And wandering the forest, he sought to renovate all those holy places where Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna had their, where Radha and Krishna had their pastime. E mata sanatana vrindavanete vrindavanete rahila Rupa Gosai Duibai Kashite Aila. Sanatana Goswami remained in Vrindavan, and Rupa Goswami and Anupama returned to Varanasi. Maharasya Dvija Shekara Mishra Tapana Tina Jana Saharupa Karila Milana. When Rupa Goswami arrived at Varanasi, he met the Maharashtrian Brahmin Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra, who had all been with Mahaprabhu when Mahaprabhu spoke to all the Mayavadis, and were present, of course, during the instruction of Srila Sanatana Goswami also. So they're very intimately connected with Mahaprabhu and his pastimes in Varanasi. So now Sanatana Goswami has gone to Vrindavan, and Rupa and Anupama have gone back to Varanasi to look for Sanatana. Things were at so much of a slower pace in those days. And now it's like, wait a minute, I've been sitting here for 30 seconds and I still don't have a reply. Shekarera gare basha mishra gare bhiksha. Mishra mukhe shune sanatane prabhura shiksha. While Rupa Goswami was staying at Varanasi, he resided at the house of Chandrasekhar and took prasadam at the house of Tapan Mishra. In this way, he heard of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions to Sanatana Goswami in Varanasi. Everybody clear on these events? I mean, it's very sweet. We can actually write a little diagram if we go through these notes, a little like mind map of all the different things, different places and Mahaprabhu's been, and who's there, and what generally is happening. I think that would be a very nice project. Maybe I'll do that on the plane. Kashite Prabhura Charitra Shuniti Nera Mukhe Sanyashire Kripa Shuni Paila Badashuke. While staying at Varanasi, Rupa Goswami heard of all Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. When he heard of his deliverance of the Mayavadi sannyasis, he became very happy. Mahaprabhura upada lokera pranati dekhiya shuki haila loka mukhe kirtana shuniya. When Rupa Goswami saw that all the people of Varanasi respected Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very happy. He even heard stories from the general populace. Oh, Mahaprabhu was here and all these things happened. Dinadasha Rahi Rupa Gaude Jatra Kaila Sanatana Rupera Charitra Kahila. After staying at Varanasi for about 10 days, Rupa Goswami returned to Bengal, and in this way I've described the activities of Rupa and Sanatan. Now Sanatan has gone to Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami and Anupama, looking for Sanatan, have gone back to Varanasi, where Sanatan just came from, and now they're going to Bengal. Ete Mahaprabhura Jari Niladri Chalila Nirjanan Vanapate Jaite Mahasukapaila. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was returning to Jagannath Puri, he passed through the solitary forest, and he received great pleasure in doing so. So, Sanatan's gone to Vrindavan, Rupa has gone to Varanasi with Anupama, and Mahaprabhu is going to Jagannath Puri through the Jharikanda jungle. But he's really happily going through this jungle. Nobody's really living there. So it's a solitary place, but full of it's a real jungle. It's full of different kinds of animals. Excuse me. Suke chale adishe prabhu balabhadra sange purvavat mrigadi sange kailan nanarange. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu happily returned to Jagannath Puri in the company of his servant Balabhadra Bhattacharya. As previously, the Lord performed many pleasing pastimes with the forest animals. So all these vicious animals, Mahaprabhu is inducing them to chant the holy name. They're not different from us. Their conditioning is very different, but their souls just like we are. So they can also awaken by the influence of the Lord. Ataranale ashibata charja pramane patanya bolaila nija bhaktagane. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at a place known as Ataranala near Jagannath Puri, he sent Balabhadra Bhattacharya to call for his devotees. Shunya bhaktera gana jena punarapijila tehe prana aile jena indriya utila. Hearing the news of the Lord's arrival from Balabhadra Bhattacharya, the hordes of devotees became so happy that they seemed to be getting their lives back. It was as though their consciousness had returned to their bodies. Their senses also became agitated. Anande Vivala Bhaktagana Danya Aila Narendreya Shia Shabe Prabhure Milila. Being overwhelmed with great pleasure, all the devotees hastily went to see the Lord. They met him on the banks of the celebrated lake called Narendra Sarovara. Puri Bharatira Prabhu Bandilena Charana Dohe Mahaprabhure Kaila Prema Alingana. When Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord offered them his respectful obeisances due to their being godbrothers of his spiritual master. They both then embraced Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in love and affection. Damodara Swarupa Pandita Garadhara Jagarananda Kashishwara Govinda Vakreshwara. Devotees like Swarup Damodar, Gadadhar Pandit, Jagadananda, Kashishwar, Govinda, and Vakreshwar all came to meet the Lord. Kashi Mishra Prajumna Mishra Pandita Damodara Haridasa Thakurara Pandita Shankara. Kashi Mishra, Prajumna Mishra, Damodar Pandit, Haridas Thakur, and Shankar Pandit also came there to meet the Lord. Any one of these great personalities can fill the whole universe with divine illumination. They're all extraordinary personalities. Ara Shaba Bhakta Prabhura Charane Padila Shaba Alingiya Prabhu Prema Vishtahaila. All the other devotees also came and fell down at the Lord's lotus feet. In return, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced them all with great ecstatic love. Anande samudre bashe shababhakta gane shabalanya chale Prabhu Jagannatha darashane. Thus they all merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss. Then the Lord and all his devotees proceeded toward the temple of Jagannath to see the deity. Jagannatha Deki Prabhu Prema Vishtahaila Bhakta Shange Bahu Kshana Nritya Gita Kaila. Prema Avishta, overwhelmed with love and affection. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Didi, could you give me a little hot water? Sorry.
No, you're good.
As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Lord Jagannath in the temple, he was immediately overwhelmed with love and affection. He chanted and danced with his devotees for a long time. Jagannath Sevaka Anima Mala Prasada Dila Tulsi Padicha Ashi Charana Vandila. So sorry. The priests immediately brought them flower garlands and prasadam. The temple's watchman, who was named Tulsi, also came and offered his obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The priests immediately brought flower garlands and prasadam. As soon as Mahaprabhu arrived with all of the devotees, the priests brought garlands and Mahaprasadam from Lord Jagannath. The temple's watchman, watchman means like guard, who was named Tulsi, also came and offered his obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu Aila Grame Kolahala Haila Sarvabhauma Ramananda Vaninata Milila. When the news spread that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived at Jagannath Puri, devotees like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Ramananda Rai, and Vaninath Rai all came to meet him. Shabashangel Anya Prabhu Misha Bhasha Aila Sarvabhauma Pandita Gosai Nimantrana Kaila. The Lord and all his devotees then went to the residence of Kashi Mishra. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Pandita Gosai also invited the Lord to dine at their homes. Prabhu kahe Mahaprasada anna ehi stane Shabashange iha adhikarimu bojane. So Mahaprabhu has gone to the home of Kashi Mishra, which of course must be a very significantly large home. All the devotees have gone. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is inviting him for lunch, and also Pandit Gosai are inviting him. And Mahaprabhu is going to say, accepting their invitation, the Lord asked them to bring all the prasadam there so that he could eat with his devotees. So and they said, yes, I will take prasadam, but you bring it here. And then everyone can take prasadam together. Haribo. I know I have to stop here. Tabe dunhe Jagannath prasada anila Shabashange Mahaprabhu Bhojana Karila. Upon receiving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Pandit Gosai brought sufficient prasadam from the temple of Jagannath. The Lord then dined with everyone at his own place. Eita kahinu Prabhu deki Vrindavana Puna karilena jai chenila jagamana. Thus I have described how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan. Ihaje Shradakari Karaye Shravana Achirat Payase Caitanya Charana. Whoever hears Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes with faith and love very soon attains shelter at the Lord's lotus feet. Majja Leela Kairi Rune Digdarashana Chai Vatsara Kaile Chache Gamana Gamana. I have thus given a summary description of the Majja Leela. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu travels to and from Jagannath Puri. Indeed, the Lord traveled to and fro continuously for 6 years. All right, so now this will be a summary of the whole Majja Leela following right now at the next thing. And this will conclude the Majja Leela. And there is a nice, look at this. Jai Shri Caitanya Charitamrta ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai, Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai.
Do they have a question? Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj wrote all the volumes and chapters of the Caitanya Charitamrta, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was all the time on the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, all the time with him?
No, a lot of these are from the notes of Swarup Damodar. So Swarup Damodar was, like you could say, like a secretary person. And of course, they're very mystically connected with Mahaprabhu. Like Sanjaya, I'm just saying, to give another kind of example. Sanjaya is speaking the Bhagavad Gita. Sanjaya is telling in real time what's happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to King Dhritarashtra. But he's not there. And no one questions this, because the substance of the Bhagavad Gita is so profound. No one's going to question anything about it. So Sanjaya can understand what's going on. So there's some of that there as well. But Krishnadas Kaviraj is also going from the notes from taken.
What's the relation with Vyasadeva? Because Vyasadeva
yes,
he gave us the Mahabharata.
Yeah,
Gita, right?
Mahabharata, Gita, and all the Veda and Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vyas the Vyas, the Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, he compiled the Vedas, organized them, then wrote the Brahma Sutra as a synopsis of the Veda, and then his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is the Bhagavatam, and he's also given Mahabharata. And the Vyas of Krishna Lila, Chaitanya Lila, is Krishnadas Kaviraj, and also Vrindavan Das Thakur. So the Vyas. So there's different Vyasas, but Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas is the one who gave Gita, of course Mahabharata, Gita being in there, and all these other things.
So there's another devotee?
Vyas is a position, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, they're different devotees.
Different devotees. Oh, I thought it was the same devotee that gave the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Mahabharata.
Yes,
the
but not Caitanya Charitamrta.
Oh.
That's Krishnadas Kaviraj. And then the Chaitanya Bhagavat also is given by Vrindavan Das Thakur. But they're considered Vyas of Chaitanya Lila. But Vyas, someone can become a like a Vyas, not any ordinary person. But then there's Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, and he's generally known as Vyasadeva. I mean, this is what I've heard from our gurus. So let's, it's very, very late. I want to read this illumination on the third verse.
Okay, do you want us to have the verses?
I think we should.
Okay.
It takes time, but I really, really, really like to do it. And I think that you guys, I'm going, just for anyone who doesn't know, I'm leaving on Sunday for Villa Govinda in Italy, and then the East and West London temples. And I'll be gone for close to a month. And I'm trying to think of how we can continue this online. I don't know if it's possible. Anyway, maybe I don't know what time it is right now, but anyway, I would have to think about that once I get there. But I really want to continue with this. And if there's no one, then you kids, sorry, I know you're not kids exactly, but you should continue. Don't not have a class in the morning.
Should we live stream it or without an upstream?
It depends on who's giving it, and I don't know. But anyway, what you should do is go through these and read them every single day. Continue reading the Caitanya Charitamrta. That also may be something that Braja Mohini Didi will want to do. And read the whole thing and then go to it's called the Illumination. Illumination are the commentaries by Srila Guru Maharaj in English, so I'm going through those first because it's very, very weighty to go through everything. It's overwhelming. So, you understand what I mean by illumination? Look, you see the word illumination here?
In the title?
Yeah,
the title up there?
Yeah, it's up there. That is the part of each verse. You read the verse and the translations and then go to the illumination by Srila Guru Maharaj and read that.
Okay.
And do it daily. And then go to the next verse and read the illumination and the next verse and the next verse.
Also,
and this way go through the book, but without reading every single thing.
So we will go from verse 1 to verse 11, and one verse daily.
Yes, well, it may take you more than a day
Oh.
for each verse, because we're only on verse 3 now. But just chant all of them, and then go to the illumination for the next verse that you're on. It may take, there's a marker here, and a marker here.
So we will do, Braja Mohini will read the Caitanya Charitamrta, and then we will read that.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll want to do that. And do this also, both of them, and go to the next volume of Caitanya Charitamrta. But we'll see how it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and read these verses, and then we'll go to this illumination if we might go a little over time today. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam jiva vegam udaropasta vegam etan veganyo vishahetatira sarvam apimang prithiving sasishyat. The urge of speech, the urges of the mind and anger, the urge of the tongue, the urges of the belly and genitals. A perseverant person who can control all these urges can instruct the whole world. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo nitamagraha janasangaschaloyang cha sadbir bhaktir binashyati. Over accumulation, over endeavor, unnecessary talk, misapplication of rules, association with non-devotees, and fickleness. Bhakti is destroyed by these 6 faults. And read these with me. Utsaha nishchaya dharyat tat tat karma pravartanat shangatyagat sato vritte sadbir bhakti prasidyati. Enthusiasm, conviction, perseverance, engaging in favorable activities, giving up bad association, and following the conduct of the sadhus. Bhakti is nourished by these 6 qualities. Dadati pratigrahnati guhyam akyati puchyati Bhunkte bojayate chaiva sadvigdham priti lakshanam. Giving and accepting gifts, discussing and inquiring about confidential matters, and giving and partaking of foods. These are the 6 characteristics of love, yes, of affection. You can read these with us. Krishneti yasya giritang manasadriyeta dikshasti che pranati bischa bhajantamisham shishushaya bhajana vigyam ananyamanya nindadi shunya hridam ipshita shankalabdya. Honor within the mind those who chant Krishna's name. That means in a general sense. Many people are saying the name of Krishna. But when one really understands that he must connect with the bona fide spiritual master and engage in service, then he can be offered obeisances. And honor with service those who are expert in bhajan, meaning expert in their heart, exclusive and heart free from criticizing others, knowing them to be the most desirable association. Tishtrai savava janiteva pushascha dosher iha bhakta janasya pashyet gangambasam nakula budbhutapena pankher brahmadravatvam apagachati niradharmai. Do not consider devotees in this world to be mundane as a result of observing faults produced by their nature or their body. Do you understand that? Someone may become very sick who is a complete Mahabhagavat Vaishnava. This is just normal part of the body. So just like the water of the Ganges never loses its nature as liquid spirit because of bubbles or foam or mud, all of which are natural in water.
What did you mean about being sick?
No, a great devotee may be sick or may have some blemish on their body or so many different things. That's not to be that he's now a mundane person.
Oh.
So this is what Rupa Goswami is saying.
This is just for great devotees. I thought it was like for everyone.
Well, yeah. But in other words, you don't judge a devotee by the kind of bodily symptoms that they have. Some fault in the body. Someone may think like that. We're not thinking that way. But Rupa Goswami is giving this instruction. Don't judge the nature of a devotee by some external thing. That's all. Or maybe they will even become angry. Say, oh, no. Like a great devotee, I'm talking about, in my case, that would be a fault. But they're always doing what the Lord is, they're not actually affected by these things. But they are showing these things. But you don't have, in other words, I don't want to elaborate on it too much, but you may see a great devotee doing many, many things. Not to be judgmental like that, because it's just normal part of. I didn't need to elaborate so much. In other words, don't judge a devotee by external things. Sya Krishna Nama Charitari Sitapya Vidya Pitopatapta Rasanasya Charochikanu Kinvadaradhanudinam Kalu Saiva Jushta Swadvikramad Bhavati Tad Gadamula Hantri. The sugar candy of Krishna's pastimes, names, and so forth is not relishable to a tongue severely afflicted by the jaundice of ignorance. Alas! Certainly, however, when it is daily honored with faith, this candy gradually becomes sweet and eradicates the disease. That's number 7. And number 8, Tannama Rupa Charitari Sukirtananu Smircho Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtam Braje Tadanuragi Jaganunagami Nayet Akhilam Ityupadesha Sharam. Engage the tongue and mind in the gradual process of complete glorification and constant remembrance of Krishna's names, forms, pastimes, and so forth. Reside in Braja and spend all your time as a follower of those who have deep attachment to Krishna. This is the essence of all instructions. Spend all your time as a follower of those who have deep attachment to Krishna. So it's not really, like if we want to be successful in our spiritual life, just like if you want to learn martial arts, right? You'll spend your time with those who are also doing that and who are expert with that. Association is extremely important in devotional life, extremely, more than in any other thing. Vaikunta Janito Varamadupuri Tatrapi Rasotsavat Vrindaranya Mudarapani Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kundamihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Plavanat Kuryadasya Virajato Giritate Sevam Videkina Kaha. Higher than Vaikunta is Mathura, where Krishna took his birth. Higher therein is Vrindavan, where Krishna enjoys the rasa dance. Higher therein is Govardhan, where Krishna plays amorously. And higher than Govardhan is Radha Kund, where the nectar of Krishna Prema overflows. Would any wise soul not serve Radha Kunda at the base of Govardhan Hill? Karmibhya padito hare priyataya vyaktimya yurgyanina tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premaika nishtastataha tebhyasta pashupala pankaja dristastabhyopi saradika Preshta tadvariyam tadiya sharashitam nashraye kakriti. Jnanis are known to be more dear in all respects to Krishna than karmis. And devotees who are free from jnana are more dear than Jnanis. And among those, devotees fixed exclusively in prema are more dear than the devotees who are simply free from Jnana. And among those devotees exclusively fixed in prema, from among them the lotus-eyed gopis are more dear. And Sri Radhika is even more dear than all the other gopis. This lake of hers is similarly dear to Krishna. Would any fortunate soul not take shelter there? I read it in a different way, but Krishnasyo chai pranaya vasiti prayasibhyo piradha kundang cha simunibir abitas tadrigeva vyadhyayi ya preshterapyalam asulabam kim punar bhakti bhajam tat premedang sukridapi sharasnaturavishkaroti. Sri Radha is the highest object of Krishna's love, above all his other lovers. In all respects, her lake has also been established as such by the sages. This lake bestows upon those who bathe within it only once prema that is extremely difficult to attain, even for those who are dear to Krishna, let alone for practitioners of bhakti. And there we are.
These verses are given by Srila Rupa Goswami, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does he mean by the last three verses? They're very mysterious.
He's establishing that service at Radha Kund is the highest possible existence of anyone, anywhere. The service of Radha and Krishna at Radha Kund there's nothing higher than that. And that is of an infinite character. And that is where Rupa Goswami performs his service. And we are followers of Rupa Goswami. But we must understand that there will, as Guru Maharaj says, there will be many oceans to cross. To even come to the plane of Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarori Vasihishnuna Manina Manadena. To come to that platform of full humility, full tolerance, full offering respects to everyone, not accepting any respects, that is the atmosphere in which the name exists, the real name. And in order to come to that platform, many oceans must be crossed.
And that will be just the beginning, right?
Well, that's an incredible beginning. But that holy name will take us to that platform that Rupa Goswami is talking about. But we're not thinking, oh, am I there, am I there? Or we're not, I mean, this is all inconceivable things. But we have to understand that. So Srila Rupa Goswami is giving that gradation that shows the supreme position of service to the Lord at Radha Kund. But we don't discuss these things very elaborately because we haven't a clue. No clue. I mean, all we're doing, we are following the holy dust of the servants of Srila Rupa Goswami. And we're praying for that every single day when we're chanting Hari Haraya. We're praying that life after life, we will get the opportunity to serve such devotees. That's what that prayer is, Hari Haraya. So these are very, very high things, and very beautiful and innocent things. More innocent than we can. We're not innocent enough to really understand it. All right then. But the sound of the instruction will purify our hearts. Srila Gurudev, Prabhupada, when he gave us Sri Upanishad, he said you should chant it every day. And he said it doesn't even matter if you don't understand it. it will purify your heart and you will understand it.
Which one?
It's, for example, Sri Shopanishad, particularly, he was speaking about that. Just chant these. This is very early on, before we had many books. We didn't have many of the books at that time. We had a blue Bhagavad Gita, a little blue Bhagavad Gita, and Sri Shopanishad came, Nectar of Devotion came, and gradually other books were coming. But he wanted us to chant Om Purnam Araha Purnamidam Purna, just to chant these verses over and over again. And he said, if you don't understand them, it doesn't matter, you will understand them. So we have to understand that point, that simply by hearing these things, this is very purifying for our hearts. And what we will understand gradually over the course of our very auspicious journey in devotional life, we don't know it till we know it. Oh, I really wanted to read this illumination.
Which verse?
For 3, number 3.
Read it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, okay. It's quite a little bit long. It's just 2 pages. Okay. Illumination. Devotion increases by these 6 practices. They should be our fare, our capital for the journey. Fare means how much you pay for the ticket. Utsaha, enthusiasm, nishchay, pure faith, dharya, patience, tat karma pravartana, perseverance to perseveringly go on doing the programs which are mentioned and required of us to do, shravan, kirtan, and so forth. Shanga tyag, leaving the opposite association, anti-God association, and shatovritte, accepting, trying to accept the sentiments, the feelings, and the nature of thought of the higher persons. We shall try to associate with the sadhus, the devotees, and give up everything that is anti-devotional. We must continue this program to the infinite, and thereby we shall find him everywhere. We will find him everywhere. If we withdraw from it, we will see darkness. It cannot be truth. If we are following the real path, and if we stop, it will simply be horrible for us. So unconsciously, we will enter God's domain. It is the nature of the infinite. Sometimes he will seem to be very near, close by, and sometimes it will see, oh, I am making progress in the wrong direction. Again, at the next moment, no, I'm all right. From the background, it is all play. Some days we're feeling very enthusiastic, encouraged, and then the next minute we're feeling like, oh my, I don't know anything. I'm actually just making offenses all the time. And in this way, we're moving forward, actually, but it has got this kind of movement.
Perseverance? Were you speaking about perseverance?
Tat karma pravartana, going on with the program. So many things may come, but we must always keep the association of the genuine devotee. That is the most important factor. In the absence of that, we must keep the association of the scripture, the words and thoughts of the devotees. That is our solace, our consolation, our capital, our everything. The holy books and the holy persons. We must think that we are infinitesimal on the way to have the infinite. Infinitesimal means infinitely small, incredibly small, and on the way to have the infinite. What kind of thing must happen? So many things. A real sadhu is a concrete thing to us. Everything is almost abstract, but a sadhu is a concrete thing. In their heart we shall find existing feelings surcharged with God consciousness, and that is something tangible. We can converse with each other. That will seem something tangible. Otherwise, almost everything is abstract. It's in the thought world. It's all like and the practicing of the holy name and all. These things are very, but a sadhu we can speak with. We can talk. And conversation, that is really important. We must pray to the Lord so that we may have the help of a real sadhu. Kabe Sri Caitanya More Kari Bena Daya. Kabe Ami Paiba Vaishnava Padachaya. When will such grace be granted from on high that I will get the company of a real sadhu, a real friend on my way to the goal? That is a very great thing, very great capital, to have a partner on the way, the long way toward divinity. To have the company of a friend of equal interest is a great achievement. It is an inconceivably fortunate position. Sometimes we may also look to the negative side. If I leave this campaign, then with what am I going to be satisfied? This mortal world? Should I aspire after that? No, never. So whether I get him or not, I have no alternative but to go forward to the Lord of my conception. I may be successful or not. I don't care. There's nothing else for me. This is a good life, a good existence, that I am traveling, that I am worshiping the Lord in the company of sadhus, and whatever the result will be, that's their business. But I cannot choose a different life. I cannot go back. Like if you go to war, not like I'm only going to go to war if I win. No, you're going to war for a higher principle. I cannot go back. I cannot be satisfied with the elements of this mortal world. I must seek the truth, eternity, and happiness. Virtue is its own reward. You know that expression? Virtue.
Yeah.
Virtue. We should not be virtuous for the sake of something else. That I am on the real path, searching for the truth, is its own reward. With this capital, we must go forward. We are searching after truth, eliminating falsehood. Fake. Everything is fake. It's all fake. The body's fake. Who we think we are is fake. Our causes are all fake. Oh, you have this cause, but I have this cause. They're both fake causes. Dismissing all scent of falsehood, we are going forward. That is the reward. Such virtue is its own reward. So according to our sincere consciousness, we will choose our company. What more can we do than this? A sincere seeker after truth can only find and select association according to their own conscience. We have no other alternative. We must seek the correct association. According to my feeling, I must have the best association, which I know is good for me. That means according to my conscience. Otherwise, we must be cheaters to our own selves. True to our conscience, we shall select our association. Who will be able to help us on this long journey? Only the search after truth must be our first consideration, not any other thing, that we will get some name, fame, money, or power. These things must not come into consideration when we are searching for a real companion. Only the truth and not any outside capital or temptation. Anyabilasa karma gyan, neither power nor rest, nor any fleeting desire or trifling thing. Neither trifling acquisition, nor organized acquisition, nor idleness, nor salvation, entering into and being reduced to zero, none of these things should dissuade us. Those are all anyabilas. Karma, gyan, power, rest. I'm just going to leave this world and rest. nor any fleeting desire for some ordinary thing or trifling acquisition, organized acquisition, that can also happen within so-called, spiritual environments. Oh, we've got the biggest temple, we've got the most this, that. That's not what we're doing. We will see some competition in some of the holy places. Oh, my temple is 15 stories high, and well, we built one that's 16 stories high, and we are going to get what? More people coming to us. And what do more people do? Increase our fame, increase our money. These are all trappings. And Guru Maharaj said, if I must go on alone, I'll go on alone. But this is what I'm going for. I'm not going to be dissuaded, distracted by all these things. Idleness or salvation or being reduced to zero, none of these things must dissuade us, must tempt us. All right, the next one is verse 4. And I'll go straight to the illumination, which you will see when you open the book. Haribol.
Krishna Prabhu says, spiritual life may be difficult, but material life is impossible. I believe Srila Prabhupada said this, but not 100% positive.
What was that? The last part?
I believe Srila Prabhupada said this, but not 100% positive. Like he's not sure who said that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, but it's definitely true.
And then,
I mean, who in their right mind? Once we hear something, we have to pray very hard that let me continue in my spiritual life in the association of devotees. No matter what. Please, whatever situation I have to be in, that's okay, but I must be with devotees. And the real devotees, real followers of our Rupanuga line. And? Something else?
oh, yeah, he says, we hope you have a blessed trip. We will miss you.
Oh.
There's also someone named Marco Bruno offering his obeisances.
Oh, Dandavat Prabhu, Dandavat, that is our dear Munindra Prabhu.
And Bhakti Boni is offering her obeisances and sharing the stream.
Dandavat, 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 Dandavat. Lots of love and hugs and Dandavats. Nice to be in your association. Oh, this Sri Upadesamrita is thrilling. I'm finding myself so astonished by it.
There's a lot of scriptures that are just so powerful, huh?
Can you give me the drum, Prabhu?
Oh, yeah, well, even beyond powerful.
But I'll be seeing everyone because, I don't know, maybe I can do some of these classes. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around the time zones and all that. But, I mean, of course, we'll be seeing each other on the Zooms, back to basic Zooms that Madhusudana Maharaj does on any circumstance, hell or high water. He's very, he can manage all that and make sure no matter where he is in the world that those things are going on. And so we'll all meet up there. Back to Bhakti Basics Zoom. And those are on Saturday evenings and Monday evening, Wednesday. Yeah.
Anandi Bolu Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parema Jayama.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parima Jai Jamana.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Koriya.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Parapana Goriya.
Hari Nam Sankirtana Kore Narada.
Hari Nam Sankirtana Kohina Nutamadas.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai 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 Srimati Shishi Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Giraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Pari Brajakacharya Astutar Sati Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Pari Brajakacharya Astutar Sati Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakha Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Sannyasi Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Laharidas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivas Thakur Prabhu Ki Jai. Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission Ki Jai. All the world missions Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Kol Kartal Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Bol, Dandavat, Dandavat. Jai Gurudev. Guru Maharaj Ki Jai.
Dandavat, dear devotees from Facebook and YouTube.